Hello, everybody. My name is Zertuku, and I think you guys kind of already know by looking at the thumbnail of this, but I'm yet again judging if a game is good or bad. But before I start, there's a few things that should be noted. I actually did try to do a live stream of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it didn't go so well because for some reason my stupid computer when I changed the settings on the game, it didn't apply. But I think it might have been my fault because I probably didn't know what the apply button was. It was my first time playing, so I didn't know what I was doing because, you know, newbie. And so my game ended up crashing and I wasn't able to get the live stream. But I have played the game and actually kind of got to know it. And also another thing that should be noted, the only reason why I played this game in the first place was because Burn Raccoon City dragged me into this game. I wanted nothing to do with it because at first I was like, I'll give it a try. It's the same people who made Friday the 13th a video game. But as I was hearing how the game was gonna play, and then I took some time to really think about the fact that it's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre game, I started to realize, I really don't want any part of this for a number of reasons. One, I'm not a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan. Two, I just kind of feel like Texas Chainsaw Massacre doesn't have any game value. So, but I actually got to a point where I actually asked Burn Raccoon City to let me rescind the promise I made him for getting this game. He did not listen because all human beings are stubborn as a mule. Just like me, I guess. But whatever, I guess we're all just mules. I don't even know what mules are, so I think they're horses. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna dwell on that. So how the game kind of plays. I mean, the controls are fine. Basically, the whole point is you have like the three killers or hillbilly killers, and then you have like the four survivors, and the survivors are trying to escape by gathering a bunch of puzzled items to order to escape. Does that sound familiar? Yes, it sounds a lot like Granny now, doesn't it? And when I heard that's how the game is gonna play, I actually had even more of a feeling I don't want nothing to do with it. But yet again, dragged into it. Um, I guess I could say some good things about this game. I like the realistic fact when you play as Leatherface, you have to turn on your chainsaw at the beginning of the game. That's pretty neat, I say. Eh, eh, mini neatness, and it's a little satisfying to kill survivors. But that's really the only two things I've only played the game for a couple of days, I believe. And honestly, I just don't want to play any more of it because it just every time when I play the game, all I can think in my head is, man, I wish this was an online version of Granny's House, where Granny, the game I did a live stream back in like one of the Halloweens. I don't know how long it was ago. Excuse me, hiccups. Anyways, um, but yeah, but there's so many different bad things to go over. So many. It's just it feels too much like Granny's House, and part of I know this is more of my fault as a player rather than the game itself, is that the whole game is like a maze, so I get lost so easily. And they actually played with the dark mechanic to make it dark, to make it scarier. So many games I've used darkness as a way of scaring people. It does not work on gamers. It really does not. And maybe except for the gamers that are like really sensitive to that kind of thing, or whatever, but it doesn't really compute with me. It doesn't really work with me at all. If anything, it just does nothing. It just makes it more annoying and more frustrating. Uh, and, now that I think about it, if you think about all the shitty movies and all the shitty games that have come out, what is the common denominator? It's all license. It's all license. It's like, oh, let's put a license thing, slap it on there, and people will buy it. We should be getting used to that pattern by now. It's gotten so old. If this thing was making me age, I would have a beard. Actually, scratch that. I won't just have a beard down on the floor. I'll be dead. I'll be fucking dead. I'll die of old age. I'll be like 1,000 years old. God damn it, they're Burn Raccoon City. Why did you drag me into? I don't even want to talk about this because I want nothing to do with it. But of course, you had to make me keep my fucking promise. I didn't want anything to do with it, but he dragged me into this, and now I'm forced to make this video. He says that I really shouldn't be wasting my time. Well, too fucking late. He's already wasted my time. So I might as well make it worse and waste more time because it deserves pain. Frickin' Texas Chainsaw Massacre the game deserves pain. It deserves hell and torture. He also says that because that I don't like the game, I should just give up on horror. Hmm. You know, now that I think about it, looking back, I always had a very pickiness when it comes to horror in general. For me, horror has to be very specific, and if it's not to my liking, I don't like it. It's kind of like with me and food. It has to be a particular thing, otherwise I don't enjoy it. So it doesn't really matter too much. Although I will say that I kind of grew up with horror. Uh, Friday the 13th is the movies I watched. But now that I look back on it, Friday the 13th wasn't really that great. Although it did have some highlights that actually I still kind of like, some classic things that I do like about it. Like the kills are great. Jason is just an awesome icon character. You can't ignore that. But my biggest problem is all the characters through all the thing are just bland. And now that I think about it, in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the movie, uh, the characters are just playing out fucking stupid. And I don't like that in movies. Well, at least nowadays, anyways, for me, because I don't know why, but I kind of expect a movie to be a masterpiece, and every time when it's not, I get disappointed. And it's almost kind of like, what do you expect, kind of deal. Yeah, so technically that part is kind of my fault, but it's like, I want to see a masterpiece so badly. I think that's probably why it's pushing me further to write more stories, and because I do my best to try to make masterpieces out of everything I write, and I do my best. Uh, I really should talk about other games real quick because there were other shitty games I played. But let's start with the games that I wasn't dragged into. I kind of did it myself, which is both Area 51 and Dinosaur Hunter for the PlayStation 2. Yeah, Area 51. I'm gonna. Okay, so my rating is 1 is the worst and 10 is the best. Area 51 is -14. It's a piece of shit because its controls are garbage. I just do not like its controls. It's terrible for a first person shooter game. Dinosaur Hunter. It's okay. So the controls are a lot better from what I remember than Area 51, but it's kind of like this the whole concept is kind of dumb with the time travel. When you add time travel to anything, it just stops making sense. It's kind of funny because Texas Chainsaw Massacre didn't make any sense. And you know what the worst part of it is? There was no time travel. There was no time travel. So it has no excuse for not making any sense. And I know that both Burn Raccoon City and Renzo says, "Oh, you want to be a pro Brock? You want them to just to kill you?" Well, they're missing the point. They're missing the point. That what I'm trying to say is, if this is the best that you can turn Texas Chainsaw Massacre into a game, then there really is no hope for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. With this being a newer game and all the other shitty stuff that's come out, I've kind of just lost hope that something good would eventually come out of entertainment. And nothing good is coming out for entertainment. But anyways, yeah, that's pretty much all I really have to say about Dinosaur Hunter. It just doesn't really make any sense, and it's kind of boring and not really all that fun. So it has a 0. Uh, okay, so a game that Renzo dragged me into was Horror Legends. I gave that thing a 1. Actually, I should save that for last. But anyways, yeah, I gave it a 1 because even though the game sucks and I really don't like it, it still has potential to be a good game. But I kind of just disconnected myself from Horror Legends because all I could think of was what I would love to do if I could create a video game. And if I tried to throw any of that information, I don't know. I feel like a Drake would just try to steal my ideas, so I stayed away from it. Another game I played that was really bad, but I feel like that one was dragged in by Burn Raccoon City as well. Was last year. Last year it got a -10 because it's just so bad. The game mechanics are just bad. It's terrible. I mean, the controls are fine, but it's still terrible. Uh, now, as for now, we're getting to the core. As for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, what am I gonna give this? A -3, because I hate it, and it's just it's just a ripoff of Granny's house. And every time when I play, that's exactly what I wish it was. And so that's really all I have to say about that. But I'm pretty unsure if Burn Raccoon City was editing my videos. He'd probably do a voiceover saying, "Are you fucking serious? You give Horror Legends a 1 and you give Texas Chainsaw Massacre a -3?" Well, to be fair, at the time when I was playing, I did kind of say I think Horror Legends still might be worse. But I actually sat down last night after getting off my computer. I sat down in my chair and thought about it. And then I realized, at least Horror Legends had some game value, while Texas Chainsaw Massacre has 0 game value and therefore deserves not to exist at all. And it's just Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a waste of your money and a waste of your time. Don't try to play it. But I'm also kind of aware that my YouTube channel isn't popular, so I kind of get the feeling that nobody's going to watch my YouTube channel and no one's going to listen to me. You know what? That's fine. I'm okay with that. I really am okay with that. Because I just wanted to rant off my opinion before signing off from Texas Chainsaw Massacre forever. And I don't really care what you guys, the audience, do with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you want to waste your time and play it and say that you like it, that's fine. More power to you. I don't care. Just do you guys all a favor and leave me out of it, because I'm just gonna make your guys' lives miserable if I start playing it again. So, yeah, and and I actually kind of said this before, and I don't mean to offend anybody, but honestly, how I kind of look at this whole situation is that the world is a sewer, and everybody in it are rats that like to eat shit. And this game is a nice sculpture of shit. It is a bad game designed to be bad. It's a perfect art of shit. And that's basically what Texas Chainsaw Massacre is. It's a heavenly sculpture of shit, and it goes to show just how low our entertainment value is going with the shitty movies that are coming out, and now we got shitty fucking games coming out. Is there anything good that's ever gonna come out of our entertainment? I don't know, guys, but I've lost hope. And I don't know if you guys would lose hope too about the entertainment value of our video games and movies in general. But I just hope that something will change it around. Obviously, I'm not going to because none of you guys are going to listen to me. Obviously not, because no one gives a shit about me. And like I said, I'm okay with that. People never did care about me. They never gave a shit about my opinion. No one cared about my YouTube channel. And no one cared about my books. So it's kind of like, what's the fucking point? Why am I wasting my breath? Because I hate Texas Chainsaw Massacre and I didn't want to be dragged into it. But now I have no choice but to talk about it because I played it. I'm not happy. I'm not a happy camper. So, but with that being said, now that I have finished my rant, please like and subscribe, and this is Zerdugo signing out.